Welcome to Motif TV. This is Terry Shea, theater correspondent for Motif. And the last time we talked, I was discussing the state of collaboration in Rhode Island theater, or the lack thereof, but there has been a lot of progress. We talked about the Rhode Island Performance Exchange and the Rhode Island Theater Alliance. And who better to expound on that topic than, if you know Rhode Island theater at all, you've probably heard his name. An actor, a writer, a director, a producer, and all-around Rhode Island theater mainstay, Kevin Broccoli. Welcome to Motif TV.
How's it going?
Good. So you, of course, are one of the main members of the Rhode Island Theater Alliance through Epic Theater. So give us a little background on that.
The Rhode Island Theater Alliance is myself and Epic Theater, Mixed Magic Theater, artistic director Jonathan Fitzwiley, and the Contemporary Theater Company in South County with Chris Simpson. We all got together, we've been admirers of each other's work. I tell people that basically we all just noticed a pre-existing relationship between our three theaters and said, why don't we give this a name? And it actually was to our benefit because it seems like a lot more people have sort of paid attention, you know.
Right.
And all it means is that we have relationships with each other, we see each other's work, we admire the differences in what it is we do. But we have a core belief in collaborating and working with each other.
You mentioned the differences in what you do. What do you think of the differences among those three theaters?
Well, I'm just a guy with two folding chairs, but I admire Contemporary. To me, does a lot of very interesting work, a lot of physical work. They, to me, seem to be pulled to stories that are unusual, that other people might have hesitation in producing, which is also something I'm very interested in doing. And Mixed Magic and Jonathan is just a big family, you know. It's just telling great stories, telling American stories.
You all, the three theaters, took advantage of the Rhode Island Performance Exchange, the general auditions.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And did that give you any resources or talent that you might not have known about otherwise?
Absolutely. For me going into it, I thought, well, even if we get, you know, we see 10 amazing people that we didn't know were out there, then to me it's worth it to sit there for hours to find 10 incredible people, and we ended up seeing a lot more than that. So I think it was really worth it, and it was great to just be in a room, have all of us in one room together, not just the three of us, but, you know, a representative from every theater in the state.
The so-called professional theaters, not so-called because, you know, Trinity is a professional theater, GAM is a professional theater, but there's this line between professional and community, which is easy to divide because a professional theater pays everybody, or they're in the union, and community theater, whether by name or such, is of and by and for the community. But where do you see the three Rita theaters? Where does Epic and Mixed Magic and Contemporary Theater Company and other companies that aren't necessarily union or pay everybody a lot of money, but don't identify themselves strictly as community theater? Semi-pro? What do you call that?
I mean, semi-pro.
What's the definition?
I'm one of those people who doesn't think that community is a bad word or that community theater is a bad word. To me, it's just another category of stuff. It's all really just a line because I think of it just as another category of theater, the same way if you were a theater whose mission statement was to do like mystery theater or physical theater. Or to me, there's work that I can do and I've directed for community theater now. I directed 2 shows in the past year. So there are shows that, you know, I directed Dinner with Friends. That's not a show I would do at Epic. It's a show I really like, and it's a show that I believed in and thought would work really well for Barker, which is where we did it. And I also really like Legally Blonde, which we did for the community players. To me, it's a matter of, okay, this is the audience. You're now playing for a community theater audience, the same way that I think the three Rita theaters have a certain audience.
So is it for the audience, or is it for the performers?
Well,
what defines community?
I think, ironically to me, the difference between the audience you're looking for when you're doing community theater or you're doing professional theater is not that much different in that you want as wide and broad of an audience as possible. What makes what I do differently, I think, and I don't want to speak for the other 2 Rita theaters, but I think they'd say that I don't think we're as concerned about bringing in as many people as possible as we are developing an audience that's interested in seeing some of the same things that we're interested in.
Right.
So I don't think it has a lot to do with the theaters themselves in terms of the work that they put on. I think it has more to do with what's the audience you're looking for here. A lot of these community theaters have an obligation to the fact that they're using auditoriums that can seat 400, 500 people, and if I were picking a show for a space like that, no, I'm not picking a one-woman show. You know what I mean?
So venue has a lot to do with it.
I think venue definitely has a lot to do with it.
Of course, Motif has the Theater and Film Awards coming up, and there are categories.
Yeah.
So, we have this discussion about categories, and then there's the whole college university category.
Right.
Which, how does that all fit in?
Well, I know when I was in college, and they still have it, we had the whole ACTF awards.
Right.
So where someone comes and responds and talks about what they liked and what they didn't like. So to me, that's already kind of represented through that. It's difficult, I would think, because I don't even know how you would get to see all the stuff that's out there. I see it.
Of course.
Yeah.
But at the college and university level, there's so much good work going on. And if you're attracting an audience, a lot of audiences will go to see something at URI or RIC because they're great shows.
Right. But ultimately, all those shows should be, whether or not they are, should be for the benefit of the students before they'd be, a benefit to any audience.
So more of a foreign team for the
one of my favorite
pro level later.
Yeah, one of my favorite books is Robert Brustein, who ran ART for a long time. Wrote a book called Letters to a Young Actor, and one of the things he talked about was how when the college shows would come get reviewed, he hated it because he said, this isn't what we're doing. We're not showing you full productions that are meant to entertain you or whatever. We're trying to teach these kids something through production. So if you're coming to the shows and you like them, that's great, and yes, we are going to take your money, but really this isn't for you, and it's not for you to really judge or pick apart either.
We're almost out of time, but that being said, what's going on right now, and of course you can plug your own show, what should people see this summer in Rhode Island?
Definitely check out This Might Not Be It, which is the show Epic's doing right now. Go down.
Wait, before you're selling yourself short. This is a original dialogue show, all written by you, directed by you, and
75 two-person scenes about the potential apocalypse. And
light summer fare,
it's different than what you would think, because I like to say, okay, what do people expect coming in, and what do we want to do instead of that? And we'll also be doing Dividing the Estate at the Courthouse Center for the Arts, which is a Rhode Island premiere of a really great Horton Foote recent work. Go down to Contemporary Theater and check out what they're doing. In my opinion, Contemporary Theater is doing some of the best work in the state.
Buddy Mears that's playing right now is phenomenal.
And I'm pushing them more than I'm pushing my neighbor down the hall, Mixed Magic, only because I feel like because they're so removed from the Providence area, they need kind of the push in terms of I think especially Providence people and people who like stuff in this area have got to get out there and see it because it's really great.
Theater by the Sea.
Yeah.
Theater by the Sea is also having fun.
But it's great. Yeah, and I think they're doing great work. And also Legally Blonde by my good friend Alyssa Gorgon is playing Elle, and if you missed her doing it before, she's fantastic.
And that's at
Ocean State Theater.
In Warwick.
Yeah. But congratulations on your nomination, by the way.
Congratulations on your many nominations.
I don't know how many there are. 4,
several.
8, 12, I don't know. They just kept coming in.
Motif Theater and Film Awards. Go to motifri.com and vote and support your local theater and film artists, professional and non-professional alike. And we'll see you at the theater.